I thought I already did this already. Let me check. Yeah, I already did it. Like, why do you keep reminding me that everything is open? I already did it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alrighty then. Yep. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was just checking on one of the app games I have with Princess Connect Redive. I don't know. Should have given you guys. Well, I think the YouTube channel already has the battle. It wasn't that hard anyway. I thought that it was gonna be, a lot more intense. The boss battle. Turns out all you gotta do is just find some of those knights that are able to crit, and that's it. Even with the well, I did have trouble with the special mode boss anyway. But at least I was giving up, like just in case you guys can follow out right there what happened. But I'm just glad they're having a revisit to. Now it looks like the summer event that we had last time. So, well, technically there was two summer events that we actually had. First one was when I think it was episode 9 of the Princess Connect on the first season when they went to the beach. So, it's kind of funny though. Oh man, it made me hungry that episode. I mean, almost every single episode of Princess Connect actually makes me hungry. Alright, y'all, we are back after some time. I actually do have my headset, but for some reason, I'm trying to figure it out, but it does not seem that I can hear anything from this headset. Even though this headset works, I just can't hear anything. Anything at all. Without further ado, guys, we will continue with Episode 2, The Adventures of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Yeah, as I tried to already,
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Ooh. 9th January, 6:37 a.m. On board the... Dang it.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Da! No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
So wait, they changed the name? We know that's freaking Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes? Really? And we finally get to actually hear her voice, and she sounds more English than Japanese. Oh my derp. Wow. That was surprising. I know they're trying to look for a young girl, but at least give it a little bit more. Because kind of reminds me when I was actually talking about that when they try to give a tomboy with a princessy voice that doesn't seem like she should have a princessy voice, because she doesn't seem like more of a princessy. At all. I'm just surprised. Sherlock Holmes. Are you kidding me? So yeah, it definitely is that Wilson is actually Watson. Okay. That sucks. Big time. Yeah, there is a Watson. There's definitely a Sherlock. So, yeah. That was just funny. Looks like Wolf is washing her dogs. Oof. Gee, don't give a break right here on Father's Day then. Me too. I wouldn't have gotten a break. Parents are now on the beach right now. They didn't want to join them because, Let them have them fun. I don't think they need me on there. Plus, I do need to go with them next week though. And San Antonio. Alright guys, let's get back into it. I just wished I was able to be able to hear how I sound, guys. Because it was not, giving me anything. I tried to figure it out if I was able to, test out the microphone. Because for some reason, guys, there were some voices that we recorded. And some voices that didn't, make it sound like I did a different voice at all. Like, what the derp? I was just checking right there. I was like, huh. How did that happen? Oh. Maybe it's the microphone. Who knows? Maybe I should use the different heads. Or maybe I should use the headset one just in case. But still. Giving that voice, I was like, nah. I think I prefer the one that actually were doing the long time ago when they first introduced the series on the 3DS. And there was a fan dub trailer. I think I prefer that voice than the voice they're giving to her right now. I'm sorry, guys. That's my opinion. I have to say that. If you guys can find the trailer and try to compare it to her voice that we just saw right now on the scene, I think I prefer that voice than this one. Cause we're pretty sure she ain't English. And plus, after years of watching Teenage Ninja Turtles 3, the movie, I'm pretty sure they can actually do the voice as well. Alright, let's get back into it, y'all. Ugh, my head is dropping. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? That has to be her lock. So you'll wake up now, Oh, no, I thought it was Carla. We have dragged you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You're truly a cold-blooded man. You. You found me then. Da! We found you, and now you pay. Criminal! How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It's time to admit your crimes. Unless you have to find out how cold the ocean is. No. I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Oh. Wrong person. Hold on, let me get the history. Thank you. Yeah. If he said, wait, isn't this... There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. It could be, our little assistant. I really need to get the name right there, so hopefully we'll get the name again. Isn't that... Yeah, It is her. Sasato. Okay. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Sasato! Wait. What did you just say? Take his life? Where? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ah! You pretend you do not know? You're a wolf in sheep's build. You're the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please! Do not try to tell us that you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. Ah, great. No. No! Kazuma. You were just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get into trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case on the floor. I thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must have even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd be broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret? Oh, what I want to know is, why do we have to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikotowa? You mean? From your close friend, more to point. Sure, we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. Especially only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time that steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there. I think it won't be for long. Anyway, compared to hiding inside my travel case, it'll be a breeze. Yeah, but if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason, then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying! I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I could stick it over the wardrobe once it's inside. I don't know. You've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this happen? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England. Together! We leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't work more trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer. Da! You said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but... Murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. I meant the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. The sniper's getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I could do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's death. Hey, he really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I Kazuma's killer? When we found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window. Both of the doors can be operated from the inside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped from these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside the cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I suppose we shall learn from until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. Well, presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please! Whatever you say, you were in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on the voyage. But this morning he did not come. It seems like he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at the cabin in his door? I wonder. I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-san, collapsed on the floor. The white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. I told you everything I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ah, my head feels hell heavy. Still dropping like anything. Stowaway. Why are you even on board the ship, Naruto-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. How could you have accompanied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No! That would have been impossible, obviously! Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of all that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, in the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-san he always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Soto-san? Son? I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I knew Kazuma-san, I suspected he was trying to protect me, to avoid my becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right. Yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still dropping like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Sasato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to dump you, but the true trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why does this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. Now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Oh, what the? Ah! That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to? You've forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago. You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah! I see. She expected me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to just believe me. I'll show you some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of the awful crime.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh! Yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so, because someone always put it in a place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decides to look inside. So naturally, he did this same thing last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course. The man who discovered you peeled the sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you're sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-san thought so highly of you. Thank you, Satoru-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? In the light of the evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here, at least. Thank you! So you finally believe me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am? A magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Satoru-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you don't do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on my investigating in here, examining everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I'll avenge your death! Okay, she doesn't have anything else. Alright, let's go examine. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how's it going. The investigation, I mean. Grandma told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I say. Sorry? The criminal asked investigator for information about his crime, right? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. You might have some useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet! Of course not. Now back to the corner of the room will make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. He seemed a little flustered. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard. Are you, Naruto-san? Sure, you're careful to look around when you're using the control pad, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he's always saying that Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on the ship. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. But not ready to let his spirit go just yet. I've investigated throughout, but I can't find anything out of place. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was very tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san! I ate at the table, of course! Which begs the question of, when and how the plate ended up on the floor? But Kazuma-san didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me! Oh no, does that mean... Poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on the earth without empty belly? It's just too horrible. Ah, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an aching stomach. What do you think this is? It looks like a piece of glassware. Whatever that thing was, it appears to have broken clean up in two. That's such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Nitsuki fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carry a cute little trinket like this around with him. Would he? And the mark beside it, what is it? I wonder. Some sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It's the color of the brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god to see? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked. Getting mowed down at once. I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-san doing his morning sword training. Do you think? Seriously doubt that. Then perhaps... it was Yunaro-san in a fit of rage? I would not bother leaving the wardrobes just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. Don't like to see a mess. You said you were not gonna mess around with the crime scene! Oh my derp. Oh, why? Might as well look at this. Sage, Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his caliber always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on the ship? Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside the case. Ah, yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Which in hindsight I should have realized this foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being stowaway isn't romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a societal takedown. This is where a dear customer would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. Looks like the last entry is incomplete. Which means What? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident didn't happen? Let's see what it says. It could have been a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Because someone may have departed this world. You must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, it isn't the need for clues more important. That's a good job, but can't find anything. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator. That's what it is. Looks like it must be connected to the next door cabin. Yes, it went up here too. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Or is it so that the rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough? Or something like that. I suppose, but maybe that's it. There's not another one? Interesting. Thought there might be one. These are the rules of the passage for traveling aboard the SS Burya. It's an official listed request from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangers in the cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. And it slides across to secure the door shut. Still, with the door bolted, there will be no way to get in or out of the cabin. That's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. She glares at me like that. I feel tense all and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and a thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they're sealed together perfectly. There'd be no possible of using a needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles up all down my spine. This is... yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. Oh, I think I know where the bell came from. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring, built to summon servants. Well, never mind. You just pulled it. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes, in the interest of cultural and research, obviously. That's when no one comes for a little Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. Why? Okay, wait. Oh, it's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe that entire time there, son? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. can tell it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew where the other member of the crew might come in. So, yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. The last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. It doesn't want me to get this one. Did Cosmo write that before he died? Look, it's written in ink. He must have knocked me pop from the desk when he crossed him before. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in this village. Poor Cosmo-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine. I suppose he's trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments. Was he? Sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese now, son. What? Then what language is it? I pains me to admit, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? What the? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he? You know that man too, have you? No idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruto-san, don't tell me. Don't you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Cosmo's desk or he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does the sound look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I suspect that you noticed already, but just in case, if you press A on people when they're in crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, get that suspicious tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. I'm in handcuffs and I'm horse ridden by the crew. Not to mention Sato-san's constant glares. I think it's fair to say that I'm stuck in this cabin. For the time being at least. I should focus on investigating in here to see what I can find out. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh. This is going to point in my investigation. Maybe I shouldn't leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I haven't had... Ah! What exactly were you doing Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me! Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. Train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been an investigator. I'm sorry. When I read that, I was like, no. Have you been to Afghanistan, I perceive? Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh. Well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps introduced anything else? But of course! A great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassinations in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And, when the better bond occupant of this very cabinet discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that someone has the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing to see these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see nothing in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to be his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill! So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's a shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked. No! Listen! There's no way I... Ah! Again. Why? Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. I'm knocked out. How could you do it? Pete's sake! Open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously! Oh. Forgive me. And as for you! What kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head! Ah, but was I not right? Wheels venturing toward foreign climes. You do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes. Maybe. Ah! There you have it, that you see. What do you make of that, hmm? Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder, so I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy. It's the basis of all deduction. The method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Ah. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I'm no one other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women of the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. Which I'm surprised they didn't go with Sherlock Holmes. Why didn't they do it? And the, I would say, there was the, like a long time ago, because I kept skipping on details on videos anyway on his streams. Well, both of them actually. Both Monica Dobo and Bradby actually were doing both the same games of the first one. We never went to the second one, apparently. So, they actually, I don't know how they actually got it. Someone dubbed and corrected, or supposedly corrected anyway, and translated to English from the Japanese version. I guess there was like a... like I said, I don't know how he did it. Well, they managed to do it, and a lot of people got into playing the first one. So, it's kind of funny how instead of Sherlock Holmes, it's Sherlock Holmes right there. But yeah, we know it's Sherlock, alright. Still sucks though that Watson has died. Hey, Mr. Wilson has died. Ugh. Instead of being Watson, he's Wilson. Yes, the one from Home Improvement. Yes, he has died. Not the one that's a freaking beach volleyball. So it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same. The inevitable. Actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man's just son? The most famous detective in the world, Naruto-san. Of course I do. There's no one who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? The Great Detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm no other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. You're German? Airlock? Was it? No, I have no air. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Holmes. I have no air. What are you talking about? You have air. What the heck? Oh. The way he said it, like, you know, he goes like, no, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Holmes. Like that. Oh my gosh. You can read all my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, friends, a magazine full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. And there's an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then. Indeed I am. If you've read so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you may take me for. Your variance is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detective achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer? Do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to our publication, I have been fantastically busy of late. Right, this very moment, I am returning from Asia, and sought the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this matter seriously or not. Doctor, you see, is of me of science. Logical reasoning gets previous one. A science? Really? Student Sober noticed even the most subtle reaction to his subject. I feel at a glance a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, frozen skin. All these things are data. Right. A trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have turned both from observation and production and fame. That is what makes me the one and only no Sherlock Holmes. No, but Sherlock is supposed to be like Oh, he's supposed to be a British man, but at the same time, we always think that he's a bit Scottish at the same time. Yeah, but for this one, Cosmo's there. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in the most cunning hiding place? That's right. There's no other than the great detective before you now. Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about someone this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among them in number, gaining entry to the secret crime. And yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. The can seemed to be exactly fit, but not hollow. During the moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediate upon me. Oh really? 2 facts, you say? Your deductions is now 2 facts. Why did it change? Mr. Sholmes, tell us please. What the heck is this? Oh, it's a rock. I was trying to figure out what it was. There is a little rock in my room. Oh, step me on it. That's what happens, guys, when you work outdoors. Sometimes you find rocks on clothes. They will fall off. Mr. Sholmes, tell us please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit after question. Number 2. The victim was Russian, killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think that someone could have left the dying message Russian? In the final moments, may need to find out native tongue, filling your head with this young man, Russian. Cosmo? Was Russian? Was he? Initially, I considered Garderobe would be the name of the killer, a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in interest of Aldoro's, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe, at least. Wait, so that's how you pronounce it? Garderobe? Ugh, my eyes. Where you found Mr. Arnold sleeping soundly? Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you're acquainted. If my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea the detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo has already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Oh, you're right, Mr. Arnold. Oh. Yes. Thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. The Russian for wardrobe in the purple ink appear to have been written in the victim's final moments. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russian before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? I don't think that's the same word, so I don't know how you say it. So if it interests you, how many times? I'm not Russian! And I don't speak Russian! Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you conclude about me, I mean... Ah. Now, the famously awkward, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah, yes, the more so to details is fairly a commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary Vailin Broskishvik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who had helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Vailin Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, he has like a pointed ears. He has a hat. He got the coat. He has a freaking broken nose. I have no idea what kind of contacts are that. And he got this ginormous man beard. With a mustache combo. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And my dad, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah, yes, journalists clearly interviewed the man and printed all the particulars in the article. And this man has perpetuated thus far, and thus he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clear to say here in the article. Bolshevik is usually returned after a period of subversive activities in war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. In the Middle East, boy! And the Middle East! You can find the Mediterranean Sea, you can find Afghanistan around there. Here, take the paper for yourself. As a little memento, it's good introduction. Oh, thank you. I absorbed all this into the interest to me within its pages. I see no rubbish bin in there. The article, the front page of Russian newspaper, the headline reads, Revolutionary violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. I'll be right back, guys. My left eye is burning. I'll be right back. I'll wash my face. Ah! The eye! Ugh. I wonder if Wolf is back. And you may find this obstacle on the back page of the Inches as well. On the back? Cast your eyes over it sometime if the Inches takes you. Though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't help to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. I think there might be a picture in it too. Before we start talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see the victim was engaged in appending some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It would upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a societal takedown is. Saddle-san? Aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? Sorry, Naruto-san. What up do you mean? Life is so unfair! Anyway, to return to the matter of hand, name is diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Paper has details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy. A smattering! Sayonara, bonsai, mikoto, naronoda. Trust you're suitably impressed. Ah. This diary is related with a complicated looking characters of which I can't be precisely known. So, what was all that showing off before then? Can you be so kind to show me? I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. Really? Ah, much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma's diary consists of just two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? There are very deep waters. Pray. Go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What is worth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Dark Kazuma was keeping on a strip of blood, and according to the last entry he made before his death, he spied what appeared to be a speckled band. Diary has been added to enter the court record. So, I believe you've been given enough to consider for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings entirely have piqued my interest. The man's words will further distinction, I believe. And if I'm not too long, the sickness takes hold. I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are curious breed. I'm not sure about that stagnation. The crave mental exaltation. So, yes, I intend to investigate hints truth will become clear soon enough. Do you perhaps think that we could go with you? No. That would be somewhat complicated. But why? Some glad that we should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at that any point. You must be joking! You just said it only a moment ago! Dear me, are you clearly misguided? I have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Jones, yeah, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway. That was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. How rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is twisted as his name. Naruto-san, what are you just standing there for? Let's go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no... Ah! After Kazuma spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you want to give up? You're going to roll over and accept your fate? Ah! As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in his cabin while we wait for a chance to slip in next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Bring the real culprit to justice. Is that? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He's already here. Well, Wolf actually missed most of the part of part 1 and 2, so... It's the inspector. You know, it could be really funny that this is actually the ancestor of Dick Gumshoe, but at the same time, it doesn't look like Dick Gumshoe. Ah, damn it! It told me that chat is frozen. No wonder that Wolf hasn't said anything. The frozen chat. Oh, gee. They have my number. They could have just, told me. If chat wasn't saying anything. I'll use this other thing one over here. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna use this. Good thing I have my other phone with me. Sucks that it can't be updated. This phone. There we are. There we go. Now I can see what's going on with chat now. Oh yeah, that doesn't run me. Let me check on the vid too. Just in case, if Twitch by any chance did not say that I'm live right now. Okay, looks like we're... Okay, yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're stuck there because it looked like it was paused right there when Herlock Holmes was Herlock Sholmes. It's gonna be hard to do it. Yeah, can't believe he's right here. Something wrong? No, son. Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. It does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't be! It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. I know you stopped. I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Yeah, especially since I think he should have been, you know, not sick to be on board. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Soji-san's bodyguard. It was the Minister of Justice Ichikoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he trusted me with his ensuring that Soji-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even been possible? I'm not so sure. But there are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Shinjuku said we should prepare for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Because someone was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Soji-san an invisible security escort. Which is why I was undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from now morning until night. Every day. But I never imagined it would happen here inside his own cabin. Not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment. Now Soji-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector! So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Permission to investigate. Do what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? Not the killer. Of course not! We'd like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes. We need to vow out to be out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deeming the risk of the ship's safety. You need to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck too. I suppose I'm just not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible? It gives me something to work with. Do you think? Or would you need something persuasive? What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door captain should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? Just the same as you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose something of evidence. That's the special Sonaga could use it. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright. Yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. Every floundering is surely sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this paper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary valiant Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. My goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? Salutation is obvious. Of course, if he despises his beard to the degree, he will shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, look at this. What? Wait. I'm doing it wrong. Hold on. There's a ballerina. Oh! It's by the direction where the thing is at. That's where I can actually... Derp. Alright, is there anything else in here? Revolutionary. Hey! P's already playing Monster Hunter Rise. I think it's because the demo is already out, so... I've not played Rise in a while, guys, so... He's probably still practicing since it's gonna be almost time for... the next part of the game. I really need to get into it. Alright, Herlock, let's see what we got. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruto-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. It's about a beautiful young Russian princess. Do you think? She's very pretty, isn't she? So much you enjoy articles like this, don't you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you noticed this article. Now I'm going to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops out everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina Donovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reportedly missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It appeared that the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? Nothing right now! It really is literally nothing right now. I I would actually love to actually analyze it, but since what's going on right now, it's not worth anything right now. Let's go to America, maybe. Let me check. Wow, that is hardly anything. I could probably buy it. Well, 20,000 right now rubles will be about 347 US dollars and 83 cents. I can buy a lot of burgers. That's hardly anything. I have no idea, but I'm quite sure I can give you a sum of money. Salasan's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is a property of the Novovich Valley. You've seen the director is beside herself with recording. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. Pavlova. Pavlova. Oh my gosh. They requested international assistance of all ports, with sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of Russian fleeing his or her country? Does seem to be the Russian thing to do. No, you're going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto-san? Ah! We cannot even stop referencing what's going on right now with the war. I am saddened still about that. An article page, Russian page of Russian newspaper. The headline reads: "Renowned prima ballerina Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai." Yeah, I don't think I can present anything. I hear a whistling sound. This is a band is coming from the guitar grill. It says evidence. Oh my gosh, that's the way to do it. What's that? It's Cosmo's diary. Just before he died, Cosmo-sama wrote something rather than strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, "What looks like some kind of speckled band is strangling from the ventilator grill." A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. Ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator included joints next door, Captain. That's right, so we could investigate in there so we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I will lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep our Soji-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you! Let's seize the moment in the hurry, son. Select move and we can leave the cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Let me save, guys, because it has been a while since we saved. Alright. Cut the save. Okay. You know, my stomach is grumbling right now, guys. Be right back, I'm gonna make some food. Alright. I am back, y'all. Well, it looks like Chad is back on there. Golly. After so many times I've seen it not loading and stuff. I also went to the restroom as well. Was waiting for everything to cook anyway. And I brought my manzanita. Woo! And I was actually hearing a little bit of dark fluff. Oh, looks like it's stamina already covered. Well, I made it to the top 50. I was actually 11th in the let's see here a second. To the event that was happening with the sleepover. Don't worry, no one was calling me. It was just that I accidentally turned off the ringtone. Hey, just in case, guys, you know, you can turn on the ringtones in case the parents are coming. Or something happened. It's rank 13. Out of 50. That was cold. So I accidentally splashed myself. The only thing I got was a lot of skip keys. I was happy for that though. So yeah, I actually got pizza though. They brought, I think it's actually from the Bubba's pizza right there. Wish they brought me a salad with them then, because their salad is actually pretty good. So, I'm definitely gonna be more on the Nova Grapplers, because tonight, Nova Grapplers are back. And it's going to be mostly a lot of tickies coming out from the Nova Grapplers. So, yeah. A lot of tickies. I should have waited for the, to make the grade up earlier. Should have waited. And I don't know, there's actually another Beast Deity that actually is gonna come out. Now it's only gonna be the grade 1. I was like, dang it, why isn't there more stuff coming out for the Beast Deities? There's supposed to be already the other ones to come out. But nope, not for this time. So it's only gonna be the grade 1, so I was still upset though. Like, dang it, where's the other ones? But yeah, I got me 4 slices of pizza. Also late. I think it was actually Monterey Jack, or I forgot what cheese I was lacing up because I heated it up. But yeah. Oh, I could smell the pepper right there on top. So yeah, sorry if you guys are gonna be hearing the. Eat a bit. Oh, that's really good. Manzanita right there with pizza. First class passageway. Let's see what this is. 9th January 7:48 a.m. SS Brodier, first class cabin, passageway. Whew. I'm finally out of the cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. Yeah, because he's only been in the cabin. He hasn't been outside of the cabin. It's not spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuo-san was being sent here on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put in the first class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Steerage? Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's an art crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even when he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose, like people in handcuffs. Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. Been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I wasn't inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Must have been a very tiring time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. Oh, you know what? Let's try contacting Pete right now. Since we did see that he was playing earlier. And around this time, it would be when he can actually be able to talk with me. Nah, guess not. He weird. Alrighty, let's examine first. Ah, wonder about this thing. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back at home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. Cheese. Made from milk of cows. Cheese? Wonder what it tastes like. You can't eat it, Naruto-san. Chop will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. Cheese! It's kind of funny because I am eating pizza. That's cheese! With cheese! I wonder. Would this actually work? We could. I don't know. Would this be disturbing though? But I already clicked it anyway. It's gonna be funny as heck. Nah. Morning, Wolf. I know, that's all like, maybe because I was talking about pizza and all of a sudden. Jeez. We were into the part right now with cheese, so it's actually pretty funny mentioning the word cheese. Oh gosh. Huh.
Yeah, screech all you want. I'm not going over there.
Is it Gigi that's telling you or something or what?
Playing Legends Arceus and one of the alphas screamed at me.
Oh wait, you have a pet owl?
No, the alphas and Pokemon Arceus.
Ah. I thought you were talking to the cat.
My cat is at home.
Imagine we actually see a cat in this one.
Well, looking, I might as well find some shinies. I'm just gonna work on completing this stupid deck so I can catch Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little burnt out with trying to finish the honey quest. Stupid tree won't shade. Circle around, bird. Oh, man. Ooh. Still a little too high. Come here, Yama. I'm just gonna sit here right next to you. There. At least some Pokemon don't attack you.
I was still surprised how Psyducks attack you. And that the people were, I thought they were docile. Nope.
What did you break? Oh, that's your problem, not mine. He dropped his phone.
Crack the screen.
Well, they'd be more in trouble with my aunt if they broke something and didn't confess to it.
Confess.
And he just dropped his phone.
It's on
They
stream.
don't like to confess when they break something, so they hide it and it gets found weeks later. And she's all pissy.
Well, you can actually tell them like it's on the stream over here.
I'm like, if I break something, I take it to my aunt. I'm like, do we have glue? I broke it.
Forget
On
it.
accident.
Forget it. Glue ain't gonna help ya.
Well, some things, a certain glue will glue it back together, and so long as you don't get it wet, it'll stay. Now I have hot glue, so if I need to fix anything, I got that. I'm gonna put this peach cobbler in the fridge.
Ooh.
And it's not just for you.
Dang
She
it.
brought me some too. She asked me if I wanted some, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Peach cobbler, save me some.
I have a sweet tooth, but only when I want something sweet. What?
You're actually going to try it, were you?
What are you doing, oh shit. Run for your life.
All I had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Katsuma's leftovers. You know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Oh my god.
I feel bad for him. He barely got to eat that chicken. You love that night.
This Yama I was sitting next to followed me all the way to Alexio.
Uh-oh. Poor
And
you.
it's not even mine.
Uh-oh.
Over here, buddy.
Poor you. I'll find a snack for you later.
I knew they followed you. I didn't know they'd follow you into danger. Jeez.
They follow you everywhere.
Oh, well, to a certain distance before they're forced back to their spot. And now I gotta find lunch.
What do you think this is? It's a very pleasant shape, isn't it?
Gotta find lunch because Uncle didn't bring us any. My uncle went to taco truck to get him and my aunt some, but he didn't get me or the kids anything. And he's lucky my little sister wasn't here because my aunt would force him to buy it.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Karma, you missed out. Uncle Rudy went and got a taco truck.
He ate the entire taco truck.
Yeah.
I bet he left all the salsa and the pepper in there.
Quit screeching, game, jeez.
That's emergency alarm. Try to best not to touch
Don't
it.
know what Pokemon's known of us. Freaking loud where I'm at. And I'm only by the book.
Oh, an alarm.
Wait,
It says
what do you want, Missy? You go
press
say
only in
goodbye?
times of emergency.
Yeah, I know your mom can't take care of you. Come on.
It looks as though it sets alarms ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh,
Rosie.
this I have to see.
Missy.
Why do you not, Hassan? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Look at these handcuffs.
And don't go away, your bottle.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. We're to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason. It'll be in a worse situation.
Come in, this way. No.
I wish everything would just stop, the ship included.
Then she can stop bugging me.
Was it a puppy?
No, Mitzi's an old dog. Come on, Rose. Come on. I'll let you out through the garage.
That reminds me. People have already been spoiling me on the episode, so spying.
You know you left those open last night. I had to close them for you. My cousin left his Talkies bag open.
Duckies.
You want out? You want out?
Yeah, I gotta get back to that spy anime, guys. If they're already saying that Bond is already coming, I gotta get back up to the anime.
I don't know. I haven't really watched any. Lately, been busy.
We must do a marathon then. We gotta get over to the spy right there. Spy right there. Oh my gosh, this is gonna get funny. Should it be the English dub or the regular right now? There's also the Spanish dub. I like the Spanish dub. It's pretty cute.
My aunt and uncle don't like it when I watch the Japanese stuff, so I doubt they'd like it if I watch the Spanish version.
They forget which state they were in before it became a United States of America.
I'm like, guys, there is no more English episodes. I'm forced to watch it.
It's actually also on English too. That's the funny
Yeah,
thing.
but I want to see if it's logs files.
Like I said, we're probably gonna marathon it later. We're gonna marathon it later then.
Apparently my world new friend. He followed me to death.
If you have such footage, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. I will pull it. Just to make sure. This is like a plan of the SS Buria. Shows its deck, look. Buria has a large-scale steamship with a triple-skin hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how's that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Well, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san. It is? Well, considering the Japanese archipelago, the islands of Japan, yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many times larger than the ship. They don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. You doof. They're not floating. They actually are attached to the earth. Yeah, doof. If they were still floating and there's a lot of weight on top of them, they would have been sunk already.
Alright, well, I gotta go wash this dog up here. I'll be right back.
You gonna watch the dog? More dogs are watching. Alright, bye-bye, wolf. Oh my gosh, that's funny. You doof. That's a huge book on top of a table there. There's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall I have a little look through it? The writing so neat and precise, every detail of the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You don't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such a beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate that compliment. Not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruto-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presuming that means there was nothing to report. Dang it, Fire Emblem! What the heck, chat? Only one chat's working correctly. Excuse me, bud. Could I ask you something? You last away, murderer! That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm sorry to trouble you, but could you perhaps ask something of you? You! You're third-class lady's maid! Oh. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day. So, son. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave me my name. I am senior crew before stoking off. Phew! This thing is to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first-class cabin area. Here we have our finest part of building up steamship. For very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings, and queens traveling the secret. Many important persons. That is why I always be guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Shogunov is not Atumur. Thank you? If I may say, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Soji's currently occupied? Ah! So Sada-san, did you understand that? It sounded like... Ah! I think it's probably Russian for yes, or no. Genius. It's not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Tochi's? His name is Mr. Grisby Rolat. He's a very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. It has nothing to do with murder, Solid boy. I can be sure about that. Mr. Rolat is an authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would not know she's a lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Tell us when Mr. Royal came aboard. That is none of your business. Come think of it. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, we've been in Cosmo's cabin the entire time. I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there is anyone in there. Well, personally, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is none of your business. Oh my gosh. Are you watch here all the time, Seaman Shogunov? Nah, all the time. So criminal like you cannot come in or get out. Warner, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you gonna watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at all the time? Anything unusual? Eh? Susanna-san? Do you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or sense anything that was wrong in some way? I said no! Sorry. Not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. Can I say more now? Oh. It is time for me to report to cabin. We must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or as English say, when pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one that Vigilor come next to. Yes, the ventilator from which Casima's room wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever is in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying! Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Oh, it was a high-pitched scream. Such a high-pitched scream. This must have been a woman. Stand aside! I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! Shan't be stopped when the fit is on me. I've everyone in kicking doors of their hands. Please wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how to do so? I cannot dispatch the muscular urge. What pray? Can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. You want to take the door down? Break the wall down! Nav generated as Burry up first class cabin number 2. Ooh. Hey, what about you? Western gentlemen, this man looks like Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be short. As you can see, there's no one here but in this cabin. Sure, this old man does not appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsley rolled out, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No? I'm a great detective among great detectives, the one who adorns the purpose of popular magazine lists. So, you must trust me completely. Man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective. I do not trust detectives. We recently heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. And so might be bold as to ask you to open that small traffic case. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fast one of these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me! Ah, it moved! My, did you see that? Was it not hard enough? Yes. Cage just shook. Leave. Now. Otherwise, I'll call the steward. So this is Cosmo's neighbor. Mr. Grimsley Roylott. There's no about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. See if we can find some clues before that burly tailor returns. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm still here. The heck? Rock, what are you doing there? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You know only to address me as Sholmes. That's what I just said, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what we were doing in there? Why? I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our received from the violence of our wardrobe while I was waiting. Waiting for the mental time. That you would need to call my great powers of deduction to the service. Oh. And it would seem the hour is upon us now. Time is coming. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on. For once. Observe closely. Our Russian Faust in his cabin, Mr. Orlitz clearly tried to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it seems to be pointed out that such methods are not exclusive for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian would react when the secret he got is closely exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I'm about to apply my great detective greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian? May I ask you? What? From time to time occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious an account of the Russianness, or Russian is an account of the dubiousness? I really don't think that either of those should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. This man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on the first meeting. I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It's by this is the judgment. Shh. I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. What? Is it raining? What the derp? It's raining, y'all! What? I have to put the dogs in right now, guys. Hold on a minute. I gotta make a phone call too. Oh my god, huh? Why? How? It didn't even say it was gonna rain. There's hardly a percentage of rain. A percentage of, precipitation of rain. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Sir Orlot, I've reached to an incontrovertible conclusion. But what do you mean? Number one, true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at the very moment, nonetheless, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with the nervous tension. You realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ugh. Oh, Naruto-san, I never imagined I would have witnessed one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing that can deceive Mr. Sholmes. At a glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What a available twaddle. Ah yes, I heard about it a couple of times in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And now experiencing the astonishing impact of his great deduction in fish stand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color was drained from Mr. Warlock's face. Looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Oh, how could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I currently invite you to upon a journey of logical discovery? Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, it is worked through my deductions together. The great the game is afoot. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking rush at Mr. Warlock. Obviously what catches the eye in the first place. It's his enormous pair of shears in his hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could he possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is starting at us in this face. You were on the verge of using shears to cut away the copious bearded spot. Now moving on. The question to beg is this. Why would you decide to rid yourself of a magnificent beard, Mr. Warlock? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regarding this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article. Which is what you appear you have read also, Mr. Warlock. Sure, it needs some further clarification. The evidence that reveals the true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain. Bolshevik release Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before they gave you away. Such atrocities is beyond doubt. The other fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, William Bolshevik. Not that I've heard you as myself, you understand. Conclusion, revolutionary on the run. Topic 2. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are at the moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the poor proof of this came prime over there. Ah yes, Mr. Warlock. Taking this unaware so people have prosperity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah! Not sure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and also than the mouth. The answer which to seek lies where the fugitive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time I think that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, you ask? By my estimation, a young lady perhaps, one-sided enough to fit theater. Don't be what was her? And what pray would it be that this young lady in traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited for a life of crime, are we? Whose careless cope with the door betrays you. Once again, we need only your featured glance to find the answer. The answer reason refused to open your traveler case will be found in pages of newspaper. But there is another, most significant article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of Novich Velet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. According to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Balvalova. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the Russian enigma. Erilitsky. Salas is that on? That wasn't one of the greatest deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Sherlock Holmes related deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Holmes. Could you come over here for a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's this newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other! Yes, I recall the discussion at another time when I told you that the man is revolutionary. He'll be able to revolutionize his own appearance. And for instance, for Holmes, Mr. Royal does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. Another thing, another part of him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, that's truly starting revolution. Oh wait. Another thing, that part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly starting revolution. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'll be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you push really hard. How is supposed to missing ballerina as a 5-year-old child, is she? You don't know? No, the young lady's 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read some Benjamin, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a shower bunch, it should be simplicity itself to contort oneself to the confines of a small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Holmes. This whole thing's turned into a circus. Mr. Naruto, something's occurred to me about Mr. Holmes' deductions just now. I think his parts of the observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Mrs. Sarnes, so subtle. It's just one or two keywords in his diction that seem to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps have to switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. Just sure if we could do that. You've unlocked the true genius of Mr. Shone's great deduction. Precisely the thought that I was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you're my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? What? We're in handcuffs. Huh? How did you... Now they may have the ability to follow me in auto. Dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Miss Sholmes, you're a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when they are finished. I'm not worried, in fact, I already stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Course correction. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. Dumbass activity, virtually on the run. Let's see, enormous pair of shears. I'm not so sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut up a beard? I doubt that's something I've ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. I seem to be sitting right with Mr. Royal either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Royal. I wonder if it's his beard that he tends to use these shears on. Exactly. We do manage to find something that seems to fit Mr. Sholmes' reductions better. Then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the only one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything that we can even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Royal really going to use those normal shears for? Golden locks? What the? What is this? It looks like the case guide of studying golden locks. No, the color's not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Rolet's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. It's very thick hat, isn't it? Ah, that's a secret you see, Naruto-san, don't you know? Secret? What? Well, before we left Japan, took some time to study various foreign countries. Russia's a land of unimaginable cold, and a thick hat is the secret to keeping warm. When I won, I read that your brain would freeze. That was just one of my fascinating snippets of information on Oh Mother, not Russia. I think maybe you need to pick the wrong book there. It really is a full beard, isn't it? Yes, although according to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Rolla was about to cut it off. I still think that he looks something like the man pictured in the newspaper article, though. The apparently merciless revolutionary villain Bolshevik. So if he hasn't gone to cut it off his beard, so he was going to cut something else. Yes, we need to look at this from a fresh perspective and try to work out something.
Yes!
Golden locks. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you haven't identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair, and consider it does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One still very much in your youth. Oh no! If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one wouldn't have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you decide to rid yourself of those magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence that shed light to the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article of the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea the old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, he was surprised. No hurt, son. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? Look like you're in Billman as you dance around the room introducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business. No strictly... Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on the next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he picked up doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mrs. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the events for something else. Something that befits the facts as we know, understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
Article about ballerina. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article of the ballerina. That's right, you hit the nail on the head. The now prima ballerina of Novich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear that we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Balvalova. Oh! Oh, shoo! Oh, be right back? Okay. Oh, it finally works! Didn't notice that. Dude, that would have been an instant death if those ones didn't work. Wait. I just realized, how did she make her so, you know, round? You're right. My real name is Nina. Nina Nikolina Palvona. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. A ballerina on the run. Topic 1. Solve! Now topic 2. The wrong one. Now, as for my conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And proof of this crime, over there. Ah yes, Miss Pavlova. Taking awareness that people have a prosperity to let their eyes astray, you see. Ah, when I show you the eyes speak too much more eloquently, notes in the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the fugitive glance falls. The proof of the crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. This woman's a ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside the traveling case as well. No, that's right. Seems that she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? See, I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased now, Artisan. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here to show what this woman's up to. Oh. Tiara. Wow! Look at this dancing tiara! I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruto-san, try it on. What? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? No, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. The waste paper basket. Let's have a little look inside. Naruto-san! It's poor etiquette to go sniffing through someone's rubbish, you know. Ah! Those eyes. Just look at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly! We have no choice! It's just paper. There's hardly anything in here at all. Oh! Well, that's a little disappointing. Traveling case? It's a very small case, isn't it? You can see instantly that no person could possibly fit in there. So that would tell us that Miss Pavlova's telling glance and instruction was found focused on something else. It's true, though. It doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? Well, if there's nothing incriminating inside this case, why did she refuse to let us look inside? Yes, I wonder why. Perhaps she has a perfectly harmless reason, though. Let's try the tiara.
Yes!
Ah, must be the tiara then. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah. I believe this tiara is worn on stage for dances in Lovovich Ballet. It's not. Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the fortune is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. And somebody... The crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, lawfully taking the precious tiara with you. Ah! I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone. And I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Arab? Of Prussia? It belongs to me. This girl's only 15 years old and she runs away all by herself? She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I'll tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this chapter case of yours in your presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense of playing games with me. Nothing gets my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of the case even before I even laid your eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Let's coop the idoli betrays you. Once again, we only need following the fugitive glance at the dancer. Yes, the reason why you refused to open the case is reading the books on the shelf. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Jones is not taking his logic to the changing circumstances, do you think? Maybe, but why has he brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case. Would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yeah, that's true. Still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in the direction noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open the case. Must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she is has hidden inside the case. Should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookshelf. Ah, it looks like these are the same books that we have in our cabin. I suppose the steward likes to make sure passengers have plenty to read for a long voyage. And have you noticed how all the books have fallen over? It's like in Kazuma's cabin. It's almost like someone's taking a sweep at them. Maybe Miss Pavlova? While she was practicing her ballet? Anyway, the point is we don't have time to look through all these books at the moment. We couldn't even want to. They're all in Russian. Well, that's a relief. Let's try our luck elsewhere. This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing steep mountainside? Or descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat area for that sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. It's a metal door, same as in Kazuma's cabin. Yes, and the rather slim bolt is the same as well. Well, if Miss Pavlova was acting glancing... Oh, if Miss Pavlova was acting glancing over at the door here instead of bookcase, that was just a desire to run away from this cabin. Maybe. These are the rules of passage for traveling aboard the SS Burya. Passenger must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There was exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe. Naruto-san. You'd probably be left to drift in the freezing cold ocean. Shut inside the tiny wardrobe for days and then... So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Yes! The rules of passage. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in cabins. Pits are also strictly forbidden. Inside the case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the reason why you refuse to open it, thus reading its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leads for one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case. Is the last item listed on forbidden the vessel's rules of passage. A pet. Possession of a prohibited animal. Solved! Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I'm not Grimsy Borlot. My real name is Nikolina Polovala. Everything you said was correct. You have absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. But your couldn't have been easy. The Burya is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Should you have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to escort a student, you somewhat nebulously took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to survey all links with your past by observing your long hair. Yet to urban hair is no traveling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut your own hair, who was it that let out the scream you heard from the outside the cabin? That veritable link tinkling of a bell? Oh no, this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure that they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself so no one would explain me. And just, oh, you transfer yourself into the recruitment old man. I see. I put on the photo hat and fake beard. And then, just before you came in here, I saw it in the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would fight me. So I decided to cut my hair as sensitive as possible. Picked up the scissors in my hand and... At the precise moment we walked into the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You're right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone if the captain finds out. Say it to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. At your return, you must tell us in as much detail as you can master the events of last night. Yes, alright. I'll tell you. Well, Mr. Naruto? Wasn't it something Mr. Sholmes' reintroduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes, what? Observe your wrists. My. Ah! Your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruto. Sorry to say, you can't be held at the moment. Ah, can it? Really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I had to find out what the speckled band that Cousin someone wrote about in his diary really was. Oh my gosh, guys. I still haven't finished the pizza yet. I had it closed because I didn't know what was going to happen when I heard the running in the rain. You know, guys, we'll have to end it here. Because, yeah, I'm trying to finish my pizza right now. I've been not able to. And so, guys, next time, we will continue off on part 2 of this part, episode 1. I get the feeling we're having on to part 2 yet. So, yeah, because this is part 1, Miss Pavlova's cabin. So, we're not even part 2 yet. So, thank you guys for joining me here. See you guys next time. Hopefully we get to part 2 next time. So, bye-bye for now. I was every day. For now. Meow. Bye. Oh, who knows? Maybe we'll just switch.